All right, Trackhouse fans, we need to talk about what Ross Chastain just said, because this is not the kind of thing you hear from him. This is a driver who's usually pretty stoic, pretty even-keeled, and he just admitted he's pulling the fire alarm on his own team. Let's get into exactly what's going on. And hey, real quick, if you're a true NASCAR fan like me, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe to the channel. NASCAR Nation News is just getting started. We are pushing for our next subscriber milestone, and it's all about wheel talk from fans who live this sport every week. All right, let's get into it. So here's the situation. Ross Chastain has been with Trackhouse Racing since Justin Marks took over the team from Chip Ganassi. And back in 2022, when the next-gen car first came in, this team looked like the real deal. 2 wins, a run all the way to the championship 4. It was a breakout debut season. But here's the thing. That success hasn't stuck around. Chastain hasn't made it back to the Final Four since that first season, and the performance has clearly trailed off. So what happened? Team owner Justin Marks actually broke it down on Racing with the Boys. And according to him, it comes down to a couple of things. When the next-gen car was brand new, everybody was on a level playing field. Nobody really knew what they were doing yet, and that actually played to Trackhouse's strengths. But now, the bigger, better-funded teams have caught up. And then some. Marks put it plainly, saying the sport right now is fundamentally different from 2022, and that Trackhouse hasn't kept pace with the organizations that have figured out how to fully exploit the speed in this car. Now, what happens next? Dace, Marks says the team is currently evaluating its own structure, looking at investment in tools, hiring additional staff, and basically using the rest of this season to build toward 2027. You know, that's the business side of things. But what really stands out here is how Chastain himself is reacting to it. This has been a frustrating winless season for him, and by all accounts, people around him have noticed the normally straight-faced watermelon farmer becoming a lot more animated about the team's performance, and that's when he said it. I'm pulling the fire alarm. It's been pulled, and the sirens are going off in our meetings. Chastain talked about how he, the crew chiefs, engineers, and other drivers are constantly comparing notes, what they're feeling in the car versus what the data is actually showing, and he says there's a disconnect there. He also went into some real detail about how his car has been behaving, and honestly, it doesn't sound like a normal stock car should. And here's what's interesting. His teammates have said similar things. Shane Ben Gisbergen, who's actually been the best of the 3 Trackhouse drivers this year, has still been dealing with serious handling issues. He explained it in detail, saying the typical race car is loose in, tight in the center, loose off. That's the standard feel a driver expects. But he says Trackhouse's cars have been inconsistent, sometimes doing the opposite of what they should, tied off the wall, forcing him to countersteer before he's even fully into the corner. Chastain says that disconnect is exactly why he's been speaking up. And he made a point of saying this isn't something he's typically done in his career, getting this vocal inside the team. He said Justin Marks knows where they've landed on the grid, but that nobody, not ownership, not the drivers, is okay with staying there. In his words, they're not complacent, and that message is coming from everyone involved. Now here's some context on the timing. These comments came the week before Iowa, where Chastain actually picked up his 5th top 10 finish of the season. So there's been some positive signs mixed in with the frustration. But the bigger picture isn't great for Chastain right now. He's sitting 18th in the standings, 63 points below the cutoff line, and at this point, making the chase looks unlikely. So NASCAR Nation, what do you think? Can Trackhouse turn this around before it's too late, or is 2026 just a rebuilding year on the way to 2027? Drop your thoughts down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and join the NASCAR Nation News family. We'll see you in the next one.